on AI for the PC. The company unveiling a new category of computers and software during an event this afternoon. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley is there at Microsoft headquarters. He's got more on the news. We got you running around a lot here lately, Dan. What stood out to you from today's announcement?
Yeah, that's right, Julie. We're here at Microsoft's newest campus here in Redmond. Obviously, you can see behind me, they're talking about a new era in PCs. Basically, the gist of what they were doing was announcing kind of a new refresh, or I guess era, in PCs, where they're going to have their Microsoft Copilot running across all of Windows. And powering that will be chips from Qualcomm, Intel, and AMD. Chief among them, though, Qualcomm here was the most mentioned. It also, in addition to opening up Copilot and adding AI to general PCs, opens up a new front and kind of an exciting front in the overall computer landscape, where Microsoft and Apple are now back going toe-to-toe. And so part of the event was Microsoft basically saying, look, these PCs can now beat the MacBook Air with the latest M3 chip in terms of battery life, in terms of performance, in terms of sustained performance. And they really wanted to hammer that point home. Now, as far as the Copilot integrations, they say that they're running OpenAI's GPT-4o as part of Copilot now. And so users will be able to do things like have their Copilot look directly at their screen. So say you're running, in a demonstration, they showed the game Minecraft. You can ask how to build a sword in Minecraft, and Copilot will be able to see what's on your screen and tell you exactly how to complete that task. Now, sure, most people probably won't be playing Minecraft on their computer. I'll be playing other games, but other people will be doing things like using Office or maybe Adobe apps. And so they say that that'll be able to be something that's integrated as well. They just used the example of Minecraft because it was a nice visual thing for them to do. So the upshot here being that Microsoft, while PCs went through this doldrum period of 2 years of just declining shipments, we just saw the first increase in shipments in 2 years, and now they're hoping to kickstart a whole new cycle with this AI PC era, led by their Copilot Plus PCs is what they're calling them, and some of these chips from Qualcomm, Intel, and AMD.
The highly anticipated Microsoft 2024 Surface AI event had some significant updates for us, as Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, delivered major announcements regarding the company's new products and technologies. In today's video, we'll discuss the most important announcements made in the event and how Microsoft is changing lives in a lot of different ways for their users. We'll also talk about Microsoft stock and how the new announcement could help the company solidify its position as an AI leader. But before we do that, if you want to keep up with Microsoft's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video.
Microsoft is unveiling new PCs today, their AI PCs. And CEO Satya Nadella calls them the fastest, most AI-ready Windows PC ever, which makes sense because AI is only about a year old. Steve Kovac is in Redmond, Washington. He's joined now by Microsoft's Chief Marketing Officer, Yusuf Mehdi. Welcome to both of you. Steve?
Hey there, Kelly. Yeah, Yusuf, thanks for joining us fresh off the stage from this big Copilot PC announcement. Pretty much anticipated. We knew there's going to be more AI features and really focused on hardware. I guess my question for you is, now that we have this AI PC moment happening with you guys are calling it Copilot PC moment. What do you tell the people who, you even said, this is going to be an upgrade moment for a lot of people. People are going to be dying for these AI features. When people are looking at these devices and say, I may have bought a computer 2-3 years ago during the pandemic, why do they need to upgrade again right now?
Yeah, well, first off, the computers that they've got today will be great, and we're bringing things like Copilot to those PCs. The thing that's great about these new Copilot Plus PCs is they are the most advanced AI PCs we've ever had. So their performance is the fastest we've ever had. They're faster than a MacBook by a long while, and they do things you can't do. So, for example, you can now get essentially a photographic memory of what you've ever seen on your PC through a feature called Recall. You have the ability to create in real time live with AI, something you cannot do, fast, private, and free. And you have the ability to do live translation. So while you and I are talking, you can literally switch languages and understand. These things, I think of them as superpowers, and that's some of the things you can do on these.
And much of this, and because of these chips, specifically today, Qualcomm was a big part of the announcement. how much of this is happening literally on the computer versus we're so used to using AI being run on cloud services? Can you talk about like what is being done in the cloud versus what's being done actually on these PCs that make them stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you hit on, first off, the key point. The chapter of AI innovation that is happening today that we're unveiling is all of that on-device action. We have 40 AI models that are actually on the device that allow you to do that creation in real time or that recall. And so all of that happens locally. It's all very private. You get secure, but we still can go to the cloud to get updates. And that's what will happen. So we'll update these models through the cloud. And then finally, the Copilot, which does access the cloud, will now run with the latest GPT-4o. So now you get this full duplex of voice, video, text, images on the PC as well. So you get the best of both.
The first and probably most important announcement of the event is the launch of Copilot Plus, the tech giant's new stab at infusing PCs with the transformative power of artificial intelligence. These strong computers pack next-gen Qualcomm processors to handle intensive AI workloads. And the goal is to make AI not just something for computer scientists, but a handy personal sidekick for everyday people. Microsoft says it has completely reimagined the Windows PC to run on a new infrastructure that combines the CPU, GPU, and NPU. It's working with several partners to make this happen, including chipmakers AMD, Intel, and Qualcomm, as well as laptop manufacturers. Microsoft also revealed that Copilot Plus PCs will be optimized for AI performance thanks to dedicated neural processing units, or NPUs, that are tailored for intensive workloads like natural language processing. According to Microsoft's testing, these new NPUs make Copilot Plus devices up to 58% faster at AI tasks compared to Apple's M3 MacBook Air. To expand access to Copilot Plus capabilities, Microsoft has partnered with major Windows PC manufacturers, including Lenovo, Dell, HP, Acer, and Asus to launch a range of Copilot Plus laptops and desktops later this year. By co-engineering hardware and software, Microsoft aims to enable faster AI experiences in Windows 11 through this ecosystem of devices with AI acceleration built into their silicon. Now, let's go over another interesting thing that Microsoft announced during the event, a new feature that might seem small at first, but it could transform our lives for the better. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy. Microsoft announced a new recall feature that keeps tabs on everything you do on your PC. By constantly tracking and indexing everything you see and do, recall eliminates the frustration of forgetting ideas, attachments, or where you stashed that piece of information or meme. Of course, some may find constant surveillance creepy, unethical, or scary. But Microsoft argues Recall's privacy-preserving design keeps all data local, under your control. Recall may seem small, but it foregrounds a future where our devices store and structure our personal data so we can extract value from it easily. An AI-powered external brain that remembers so we don't have to.
You've got a new version of Windows powered by AI that basically means you have your own AI agent on your own device. How will this AI-powered hardware experience be totally different from what we've seen before?
First of all, thank you so much for having me, Emily. And yeah, I mean, it's really a ground-up, reimagination from silicon. So we have a new SoC that has the NPU. So think about it as we've always had CPUs and GPUs, and now you have neural processing units to, in fact, locally process these AI models. We have 40+ AI models that are local on Windows machines that then are being used by a variety of experiences that we have built into Windows, starting with this photographic memory feature called Recall, which is just phenomenal. And of course, Copilot is built in to Windows. And Copilot is just not an app. It's sort of a shell affordance that's going to be there assisting you as you showed a demo of somebody playing Minecraft and me just sharing my Minecraft screen with Copilot. And Copilot helps me finally be as competitive with my daughter on Minecraft I has always dreamed of, right? And then, of course, the third parties. I mean, Adobe showed how they're bringing all of what they do to Copilot Plus PCs and many, many more other developers. So it's an exciting day for us to have a complete rethink on the full stack of Windows for the AI age.
Now, let's move on to the third thing Microsoft announced, and it is the integration of the new Copilot features on Windows 11. Microsoft is taking the training wheels off Copilot, letting its AI assistant loose across your entire Windows experience. Within Settings, Copilot can explain or suggest useful changes. In File Explorer, for example, it might propose file names or offer to summarize a document. Got a notification? Copilot can whisper response ideas in your ear, with the goal of enhancing productivity and creativity through every click. They then also announced that the new Surface Pro will get a speed boost and an OLED display option for people who wanted it to be upgraded. Not only that, Microsoft also announced that they are partnering with companies like Adobe to optimize their apps for Copilot Plus PCs. Adobe heavyweights like Photoshop, Lightroom, and Illustrator are docking their ARM64 versions on Copilot Plus, meaning that Photoshop and other Adobe programs will allow those inspirations in your head to instantly materialize on screen faster than ever. And this is just the beginning of the creative revolution Microsoft is promising. Later this summer, Illustrator and Premiere Pro join the Copilot Plus party, completing the Creative Cloud set. The creative class craves the flexibility to work their magic anywhere. With Adobe and others on board, Copilot Plus muscles through demanding multimedia projects on the move. Wherever creativity sparks, these mobile powerhouses will be ready to fan the flames. These Copilot Plus features and laptops are expected to start showing up and shipping on June 18th, 2024.
A lot more pressure on Apple just from Microsoft today, basically calling them out and said, hey, Apple, where's your AI? You're behind.
Wow. Steve, thank you. Appreciate that. Steve Kovac. Lucky to have Dan Ives sitting on the desk. What do you make of that? Little Apple versus Microsoft redux from like 40 years ago? Here we are again.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle. And we'll see from Apple, WWDC. But from Microsoft, from Nadella, I mean, it's clear they are in the lead when it comes to AI. I mean, you saw it from an open AI perspective last week. But this is showing what's going into the broader ecosystem. And I believe this is really just the start from monetization, what could ultimately be an incremental 20-25 billion annually that gets put into Redmond.
So that's the Microsoft perspective. What is the Apple perspective as far as you see it?
Well, I think this is really going to be a renaissance of growth for Cook and Cupertino. I think it's the OpenAI partnership, which we believe is going to be announced. That's the start of it. But it's going to really be an AI app store that Apple introduces, along with now AI coming to iPhone 16. This will be, I think, the most important event for Apple in the last decade.
But you call it a shot across the bow to Apple, but then you're glowing about what Apple's going to do in its own right. Reconcile those two.
Yeah, because I think Microsoft recognizes that the biggest fear is that Apple, which has been behind on AI, now starts to go after the consumer. Microsoft wants to own that. Now, I personally believe Microsoft owns enterprise, and we've seen that from a Copilot perspective, but they know that they're behind, and that's why this is an important event for Nadella to court not just developers, but consumers.
The market for PCs enabled with AI capabilities is projected to grow significantly in the coming years. According to estimates, 54.5 million AI-powered PCs will ship in 2024, representing 22% growth. Moreover, analysis from Cowley's predicts 60% of all PCs shipped will be AI-capable by 2027. Microsoft seems to be targeting this burgeoning AI PC market with its recent Surface launch announcements. The company's CEO Satya Nadella demonstrated new devices optimized for AI workloads, apparently aiming to challenge Apple's leadership position in premium PCs. In general, the PC market appears poised for strong growth driven by demand for accelerated AI features and workflows. Both Microsoft and Apple are making strategic moves to capitalize on the rising adoption of AI capabilities among consumer and enterprise PC users over the coming years. Microsoft maintains collaborations and innovations that will keep their position in the battle very strong. In fact, Microsoft's announcements around new AI capabilities and an open App Store model will likely spur Apple to introduce similar AI advancements and App Store changes for its iPhones. In Wedbush Dan Ives' view, Microsoft seems to be positioning itself ahead of Apple in certain technology areas like on-device AI processing. He believes Microsoft sees the importance of staking an early claim in emerging tech markets. Meanwhile, Ives noted Apple has lagged behind in artificial intelligence technology. With Microsoft's latest reveals, Ives expects Apple will have to make up ground quickly in AI to stay competitive. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Welcome back to the watch list. I feel like we're in breaking news mode with Microsoft this week. Microsoft has the Build conference. It's underway. It's multiple days. Our panel is all over this and all things related to this. Daniel Rubino's with us, editor-in-chief at Windows Central, and Jeff Kagan, wireless and telecom industry analyst and columnist with RCR Wireless. Daniel, I'll start with you. This is a big deal, right? I mean, this is only day one. What have we learned so far? What are you watching for from this Microsoft Build conference?
I'm calling this the Great PC Reset, actually. It's so massive. I think it's the biggest change in PCs and laptops in the last 30 years, ever since these computers have been able to connect up to a thing called the internet. What was announced today are the next generation of AI PCs, what Microsoft calls Copilot Plus PCs. So the difference here is the inclusion of very powerful neural processing units, or NPUs, that can then run AI locally on the laptop itself. You combine that with Qualcomm's brand new processors, which are way faster than what Intel and AMD have, and actually are faster than Apple's M3 processor. And you get 18 hours of battery life, you get AI processing, and now you throw in Microsoft, which brings its Windows 11 operating system, now powered with AI built right in, including new features like recall. So, you know, search in Windows has always been a challenge. Search in general is always a challenge. This new version is AI powered, but it stays local on your laptop, so there's no privacy issues. But what it means is when you go to search for something, it's going to rely on semantic cues based on your user habits. So if you ever told a friend, remember that movie we saw the other day? The guy, he had the face, the hair, you're just super vague. Well, your computer is going to actually understand those kind of search queries now and bring up your history and timeline and be able to present these things to you. Right. There's also a bunch of co-creative and AI generation apps that are going to be built into Windows that are coming as well. And this all launches next month in June.
Microsoft's recent announcements show that the company is cementing its global leadership in the red-hot field of AI. The company also continues to have a close relationship with privately held OpenAI, which it has invested more than $10 billion into. OpenAI recently announced new AI plans of its own, including an artificial intelligence-powered search engine aimed at competing against Google and a partnership with social media company Reddit. Microsoft continues to report financial results that show growth on all fronts at the company. In particular, the company's first quarter print showed accelerating growth in cloud computing. The company's intelligent cloud segment, including the Azure public cloud, earned $26.71 billion in revenue during the quarter. That was up 21% from the previous year and ahead of the $26.26 billion expected among analysts. Revenue from Azure alone grew 31% from a year ago. Other highlights from the earnings report include revenue from the Xbox video game unit rising 62% year-over-year due to a lift from its $68 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which makes popular game titles such as Call of Duty. Sales of Windows licenses to device makers rose 11%. During the quarter, Microsoft began selling access to the Copilot chatbot for small businesses with Microsoft 365 productivity software subscriptions. The strong earnings and growth across multiple business segments is why 33 professional analysts currently rate the stock a strong buy with a median price target of $491.56 per share, which is 14.5% higher than where the shares currently trade. But what do you think? Is Microsoft stock a buy at its current CEO? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. If you would like to know more latest updates about Microsoft and what they have been up to, then go ahead and click on the next video on your screen.